1, 2, 3, keep going now. 4, 5, 6, can stop right now. 7, 8, 9, I'm still not done. Bazzite is easily one of the best operating systems for creating a true console-like gaming experience. So whether you want Steam gaming mode, a full Linux desktop, media streaming or even retro gaming, Bazzite brings everything together into one operating system. So today I'm installing it on the Beelink SER8 to see if this little mini PC can become the ultimate living room gaming console. This is the Beelink SER8. It's powered by the AMD Ryzen 7 8745HS processor paired with the 32 gigs of DDR5 memory running at 5600 MHz. Graphics are handled by the AMD Radeon 780M integrated GPU, which is still one of the fastest integrated graphics solutions currently available. Now storage comes in the form of a fast 1TB PCIe Gen 4 NVMe SSD, making the whole system feel incredibly quick and responsive. Right out of the box, it ships with Windows 11, but today we're replacing it with Bazzite. Now the installation process is actually very straightforward. You'll need a USB thumb drive with at least 8 gigs of storage, download the correct Bazzite image for your hardware from the official website, and use Balena Etcher to flash it to your USB drive. Now depending on your USB stick, this usually takes around 5 minutes. Now before starting the installation, we first need to disable Secure Boot. And with the USB plugged in, simply press F7 during boot to access the boot menu and select your USB drive. But once the installer loads, just follow the on-screen setup. In my case, I connected to Wi-Fi, created my account, and selected the option to use the entire SSD, although dual boot is also supported if that's something you're interested in. From there, the installation itself only took around 5 minutes. No, the first boot takes a little longer than normal, but that's completely expected while Bazzite finishes setting everything up. But from there, simply choose your language, connect to your network, and let the operating system do the rest. In my case, Bazzite immediately downloaded another update before restarting one final time. But after that, logging into Steam, the system was ready to go. Just to quickly show you around, under system settings, we can see we're running the latest stable version of Bazzite, and the operating system correctly detects the Ryzen 7 processor, the Radeon 780M graphics, and all of the DDR5 memory. But one thing I really want to test was controller support. Now this is GameSir G7 Pro 8K Aim Labs edition. The controller pairs perfectly over Bluetooth and also worked without any issues using the included USB wireless dongle. But interestingly, Bazzite displayed PlayStation button prompts while using the GameSir controller. And naturally, I wanted to try another controller. This time, Bazzite displayed Xbox button prompts, even though I was using a PlayStation controller. You do get mouse support throughout the controller though, which is a really nice bonus when navigating desktop mode. So there's definitely seems to be a little confusion with the button layouts, but apart from that, both controllers work perfectly throughout my testings. One feature I really like is the quick access menu. By pressing the home button together with the A button on the controller, you can quickly bring up the performance overlay, access Decky loader, customize themes, adjust performance settings, and manage connected devices without leaving your game. Honestly, it just feels like a Steam Deck, and that's exactly what I was hoping for. Of course, Bazzite isn't just about gaming, we also get access to desktop mode, and if you ever use the Steam Deck, you'll feel right at home here. Wi-Fi remained stable throughout all my testings, although I did get a strange low battery notification even though the controller was fully charged. Other than that, everything worked exactly as expected. Installing application through Bazaar was quick and straightforward. Changing wallpapers was simple, and the whole system felt just like a regular Linux desktop. Now, when it comes to media consumption, I had absolutely no issues here. YouTube worked exactly as expected, and just like on my Steam Deck, I'm using Vacuum Tube for a cleaner YouTube experience with support for resolution up to 1440p. Jellyfin also worked flawlessly, making the SER8 a fantastic little media machine alongside gaming. Now, while Wi-Fi performed really well, the SER8 also comes with a 2.5 gigabit Ethernet port. Once connected with an Ethernet cable, I was seeing download speeds peaking at around 850 megabits per second, making downloading larger games much quicker. Of course, features are one thing, but none of that matters if the gaming performance isn't there. So let's jump into some games. First up, let's try something a little different. Believe it or not, this is actually a Roblox game. Animal Hospital Anomaly has become incredibly popular recently, and it ran perfectly on the SER8 without any noticeable issues. Next up, we have Hogwarts Legacy, which is easily one of the more demanding games I tested. Running at 1080p using ultra settings, we averaging around 40 frames per second, which honestly exceeded my expectations. There are occasional drops in busier scenes, but overall the game remains surprisingly enjoyable and perfectly playable. Moving right along, Darksiders III also performed really well. Running at 1080p using high settings, we averaging around 40 frames per second, giving us another smooth and responsive experience. Next up is Middle-earth Shadow of War. Running at 1080p using the maximum settings, we averaging around 30 frames per second. Once again, the Radeon 780M continues to impress, especially considering we are gaming on the integrated graphics alone. And finally, I wanted to test Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Running at 1080p using epic settings, we averaging around 30 frames per second, often climbing into the high 30s depending on the area. Considering the graphic settings, I was honestly impressed here. Combat feels responsive, movement is smooth, and this is definitely one I'd be happily play from start to finish using Bazzite. One more thing I want to mention is the Heroic Games Launcher. It makes adding even more games to your library incredibly easy. You can sign into your Epic Games Store, GOG, and Amazon accounts, giving you access to even more games outside of Steam. Unfortunately, games that rely on unsupported anti-cheat software like Fortnite still won't run, so Windows definitely has the advantage there. For retro gaming, you can also install EmuDeck without any issues. The installation process was quick and straightforward, and considering the hardware inside the SER8, I have no doubt it will make a fantastic retro gaming machine, but that's a video for another day. So yeah, overall, I have to say I'm genuinely impressed with Bazzite running on the Beelink SER8. Apart from the controller layout confusion and the lack of support for certain anti-cheat games, everything else worked really well. Game mode feels polished, desktop mode gives you that flexibility of a full Linux desktop, and gaming performance honestly exceeded my expectations. What impressed me the most wasn't just the gaming performance, it was how complete Bazzite feels here. Between Steam gaming mode, desktop mode, heroic launcher, media streaming, and EmuDeck, it feels like there's always another feature waiting to be explored. So if your goal is to build a mini PC that feels like a dedicated console sitting under your TV, Bazzite is honestly one of the best operating systems available today. Maybe that's why I started this video by counting. Every time I thought I'd seen everything Bazzite could do, I wasn't done yet. But that's going to wrap it up for this one. If you're interested in learning a bit more about Beelink SER8, I've left some links down in the description. Do drop a like and consider subscribing. As always, Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.